Ladies and gentlemen, to the $300 minimum 3v3 Search and Destroy taking place here on January 17th. It's our semifinal between IceSZN and Lethal Gaming as we're hopping on board here in our current map 1 of our best of 3 series. Of course, loading here toward some Arden Forest. I believe this is the first time I've actually been able to cast over this particular map tonight, and looking forward to doing so. Probably one of my more favorite S&Ds. As you know, this particular map was brought up quite a bit when it came down to CWL NOLA. And speaking of NOLA as well, actually both teams at least having one player involved when it came down to that tournament. Of course, we have 3/4 of Lethal Gaming's normal team. Of course, they do have 4 players, not just 3. Ramby, Teddy Rex, MuTeX, and Major Maniac. Don't believe they're going to be having Maniac for tonight's tournament. So the could have known main assault rifle player not in their match tonight, but we'll see. Obviously, they can kind of fare off against WeeLaY, Fearless, and Riviction, as I believe Riviction, at least for now, I believe is still a player for Armada, if my mind does serve me correct. I know he's playing with Saint, as WeeLaY is just examining the unfortunate fallen members in this run. Nice way to show some respect. I definitely approve of that. Look at those hair textures. This is a very detailed game. I respect that. Anyway, but yeah, I believe that I can't remember exactly what Riviction's team might have placed, but I know that they ended up losing, I think, in the open bracket to Defy Rebellion, and then I believe lost to Havoc Esports, which is Baldy and Howler's team in the losers bracket. So ended up getting knocked out. Didn't make it to pools, but I know that for Lethal Gaming, that they ended up having a pretty decent placement. I believe top 28 at NOLA. Ended up losing in the actually qualifying match for pools to GGEA Blue. Rather unfortunate loss for these guys, but honestly, I was really impressed to see their run at NOLA. Of course, didn't probably equal up to one that they wanted. Lose to GGA Blue, like I said, in that qualification match, but still, they're making some strides, I think it's fair to say. As Riviction does take out Ramby, Teddy Rex coming from the flank does take out one. Quick reaction time on the second, but Fearless is here, and you look at the fast reaction time coming in from Teddy. Does drop in the end, but now MuTeX will have to try to pick up the pieces, and I like the jump shot, actually. Coming in here from Fearless is, like I said, 4-0, yet to die. Currently flawless. He's fearless and he's flawless. But can he get the streaks? And honestly, if you're in his position, maybe if you have the opportunity to get the bomb down and the player challenges you, it would be smart to play for streaks. Of course, how close he is already. But he's going to get some great timing. He's going to have a free bomb on this A-bomb site. MuTeX is probably going to pick him off, you'd like to think, but no, the timing isn't going to work out the best. MuTeX probably does spawn him coming through Forest, and yes, we'll drop him in the no need for a reload, only a defuse is what you will need, and I believe Fearless does earn streaks into the oncoming rounds after literally 2 rounds of play. The guys already got streaks, pretty impressive to say the least, but like I said, when it came down to Lethal Gaming, I've been really impressed with this group. We've been able to commentate over them a few times in our UMG Online tournaments, Variants and S&D only alike. And like I said, they've been really impressing me. And obviously making it as far as they did in the open bracket, got to give them some credit. A lot of these guys, basically all 4 of these guys, really known for their search and destroy kind of only careers. And making their way when it comes to the respawn game. I know Teddy Rex was kind of one of the first guys to try and get into the respawn game, which are kind of being known as a search and destroy player. You know, obviously only. But these guys have really been sticking with it. They've been scrimming, they've been grinding. It's definitely kind of paying off. But so far in this match, though, it is IceSZN who is doing the work necessary. And obviously, team name fits with the current map. It is pretty icy outside. It actually is pretty icy outside here in the greater St. Louis area as well. Not sure how you guys are doing with the current wintry mix around the states. If you're in a different country, maybe it's snowing there too. Who knows? I like the snow, though. It makes me happy. Makes me think of Christmas, even though it's over. It's the new year. New season. And speaking of seasons, of course, the first season coming up soon for Call of Duty World League, as all 16 teams have been decided. There was a little bit of drama actually kind of coming into the final few teams. We're not going to talk about that, but still, obviously very excited for that. If you guys are going to be watching that, feel free to put it in the chat. You guys interested for the first season of the Call of Duty World League? What teams are you looking forward to watching? I know some kind of teams got in there at the last second. Kind of close final placement matches for a few teams as well. feel free to kind of keep the conversation going. I'll be looking at the chat to see what you guys are thinking about, and we can obviously discuss that as the series does progress. But right now, Fearless, after watching his teammate WeeLaY drop from the skies, is now coming in with the glide bomb and actually takes out Teddy Rex and also gets great timing onto Ramby as well. Two kind of quick kills in succession. And just like that, MuTeX, watching his teammates drop, is now left in a 1 versus 2. Sniper rifle out and just misses where Fearless's position was. Spots Riviction and Fearless as they get off the bomb, but no, goes for the plant. Might be either going for a wrap or they could just be playing for the solid bomb plant. Will do that, and I believe MuTeX is on the hunt, spots that Riviction, and the question being, does Fearless try to challenge or does he just hold his position, holding it strong? And you know, MuTeX not having any idea as to where he was at, does get taken out pretty easily. And props to Fearless, honestly, in this position, because at any moment he could have realized that his teammate drops, he goes for the quick challenge, but no, he kind of holds in the bomb site, knows the timing of what could be a flank, and plays the situation well. And he's obviously 8-1. I say obviously. He is literally dominating right now. He's nearly at double streaks. He's nearly got another glide bomb. He just used it. Incredibly strong performance coming in from this guy, as making his way toward the B site along with his teammate WeeLaY hand in hand. Not spawning anything off the break, but kills being tagged to the back of Ramby. I've been seeing quite a few players actually rock some interesting attachments on the bar. I know coming into NOLA, we saw quite a bit of STG use, at least online. And we're definitely not seeing very much of it anymore. I know on LAN, people kind of were discussing, saying, the STG, very solid weapon. I know kind of solid AR players like Octane and Formal were big advocates of it when it came down to land very fast. His Riviction gets a nice headshot. Could take another head off for Ramby. And now has to try to re-engage, but we talk about weapons, kind of patches that could be coming up. FG42, I know, has been discussed about potentially getting going to be brought back into the scene, being brought back into the question of, obviously solid assault rifles. So that remains to be seen. We'll obviously be able to witness all those weapon changes soon and seeing how they obviously impact game. But it looks like, at least for as far as weapon comp right now, 2 PPSHs and an STG-44 there for the guys on IceSZN. On the opposite end, it looks like a bar, a PPSH, and a sniper rifle. MuTeX with that one through mid-map. Teddy Rex going for the nice nade. This one could be good. If he bounces off correctly, he could at least get hit markers, does exactly that, learns the information of where Fearless is currently positioned. Nice kind of shots tagged in the side will drop very fast, and now WeeLaY in the back lines does get dropped there as well. So back and forth games, kind of back and forth play, rather, between both of these squads. After 6 rounds of play, we are currently level. And now looking on here, strong performers right now. Fearless quite literally keeping his team in this, as I believe he doesn't earn the second glide bomb, but does have the fighter pilot in his back pocket. And right now it looks like, as far as the classes are considered, only one player without that mountain division on, which is going to be Teddy Rex. You notice his class, Hunker, Airborne, going for the fast rush, but is very much aware of the nades. However, it's the stun that does him in. It's the stun that drops him. Solid strategy coming in from the defensive team of IceSZN as they pick off the second player, that one being MuTeX. Now Ramby left all by himself, tagging some shots in the side. Ramby as well has earned streaks, keeping that in the forefront of your mind. And this is a really important thing when it comes to 3v3s especially, is knowing the potential streak usage from the opposite team, knowing what is kind of in their back pockets. And him only, I believe, +1, maybe +2. There aren't going to be, unless they're not keeping full track, I mean, they're not going to know that he has streaks, most likely. So this is kind of a back pocket strategy that he could use, and they could be playing off streaks when it comes into maybe offense or defense. It looks like Armored and 2 Mountains. As you see Teddy Rex doing the dance with the sniper rifle. Riviction not having any luck, necessarily. Does spot Ramby up on that top B-dom position. I'm actually not sure if Riviction knows that he jumped down. Here comes the streaks from above. These coming in from Ramby, I believe. But no, actually, I think those might have came in from Fearless. Not exactly sure who those were 4, but regardless, they don't get any kills down. Maybe some information was earned. But WeeLaY and Fearless trying to weather the storm of constant shots in their face. And it looks like the rush coming in from Fearless doesn't spot anyone, has to back up. Both these guys have been red for about a solid 5 minutes now. And they could be playing for, I don't want to say a pick, because obviously that's the case, but Fearless dodging snipes back and forth. Based on their positioning, I thought they were trying to bait out a push. They were kind of making the opposite team think they were rushing to the opposite side on A, but it doesn't work. Doesn't work. And Teddy Rex, of course, Bronze Star, aka the final kill cam. We're now level at 4. Like I said, going back and forth. Very close matchup at this point. You see Fearless. I mean, it's obviously fair to say that he is slowing down. But I mean, when you have 8 kills after what, like 3 or 4 rounds of play, it's only normal that your gameplay starts to at least kind of take a little bit of a toll. Don't think we're going to see him have 18 kills by this point. But keeping in track the first bloods, man. Ramby, that's his 4th first blood of this match. 6 in total for his team. As WeeLaY does pick out MuTeX through that mid-map, it's a matter of offensive team, can they get the bomb down successfully, and can they hold positions? Teddy Rex quickly going for a rush and has to be aware of, I mean, he drops in this position. Look at Ramby. I mean, granted, he does have a nice line sight, but anyone could come from all 3 of these directions, from Bell, through backside, or through middle U. Chooses correctly in the back lines, takes out one. Up close, a personal fight. Can Ramby find this one? Not able to do it. And Teddy Rex does get picked off as well. The PPSH, it's difficult to challenge in that top position. Props to WeeLaY as he finds 3 kills in a row, along with a defuse, a 5th round gained. And just like that, a lot of positives if you are the guys on IceSZN. And I gotta say, props to WeeLaY in that kind of last second fight where we see him kind of realize the important position for the 2nd kill. Granted, he's going for the first one, but he realizes what's most important in this game, what's most important to kind of clutch this thing out is to go for the guy who was the better positioning. Once I do that, I now have his positioning. And that leaves, obviously, Teddy Rex in an awkward spot. A PPSH kind of aiming at a top head glitch. You're not going to win that fight anytime soon. Looking on here, Fearless ends up dropping yet again. 7 first bloods for Lethal. And can they force the round 11? As Ramby firing some shots. Knows Riviction's position. As MuTeX takes out WeeLaY. This would be a 1v3 clutch here for Riviction if he can get this one done. And Teddy Rex is a very smart position. Riviction's not going to be able to know that he's here. Does take him out. I was going to say it probably isn't going to know of Teddy Rex's position. Of course, as soon as Teddy shoots, Riviction is aware that what's taking place. But Ramby, the quick turnaround. But a bullet and a half is all I needed to solidify the round. So we will be seeing overtime here for map number 1. 1 round to decide it all, as it looks like it will be the guys from IceSZN on offense. We talk about streaks. Has anybody got them? Ramby does. Ramby has held on to these. You see his work when it comes down to the objective. Has at least planted or defused a bomb. Kind of been on that bomb site 3 different times. And they are going to be playing off these streaks. Fighter pilot off the break. We'll see if he can find anyone. As it looks like one player at least isn't using Mountain. That's Riviction. As Teddy Rex actually takes out Fearless. They're looking good right now. They know where Riviction is at. And he does end up dropping. So just like that, 2 streaks used. Information gained. And WeeLaY left in a 1 versus 3. Trying to get out of dodge and will escape with his life for the time being. Obviously an awkward position for this man to be in because he is on offense. And he has no teammate support. So with that, it will be the guys from Lethal Gaming closing this one out in overtime on map number 1. Of course, this is the semifinal, and I expect nothing less than a close matchup. Not just for map 1, but in this entire series. So massive props, of course, to the guys on Lethal. And honestly, major props to Ramby, right? Because at different points throughout this match, Ramby does earn the streaks, which of course is a few rounds prior. I mean, if they feel any pressure or if they feel, kind of coming into a round, let's use these streaks, let's kind of use this just to, like, at any moment during that round 10, they could have probably used those to kind of, hey, guys, let's at least try to get a round 11. Let's at least try to make sure that we can get this one kind of under our feet, make sure we can kind of have that round 11 opportunity to kind of close things out. Maybe at least use one streak, but they don't. Ramby holds on to both streaks heading into a round 11. You can obviously see from the side of IceSZN, they're not aware of that. I don't think they really remembered that Ramby had those streaks from a few rounds prior. I was kind of holding on to those. But like I said, overall, I think it's very smart play, what we see from Lethal. They hold on to the streaks. That's ultimately what wins them the round 11. I know the first fighter pilot comes in, tags a few shots with other Lethal Gaming players are there to kind of respond. I know the glide bomb comes in kind of focusing on Riviction. Riviction trying to hide from that glide bomb has to enter into like a certain kind of building. Once he enters into there, there's Lethal Gaming players shooting, waiting for him to kind of come into that pre-aiming, probably even pre-firing as well. And like I said, they use him well. They hold on to him. Good patience coming in from Lethal Gaming, which I'm sure they've been earning a lot of that, learning a lot about the game on LAN, especially as they obviously played very, very strong when it came down to CW NOLA, and are kind of slowly but surely gaining a lot of that respawn information, becoming great overall players, not just search and destroy, but overall players as well. And a lot of times you can kind of gain that information and can kind of gain that knowledge about respawns that you can also take into search and destroy as well. I think it's very important when it comes into patience, chemistry, communication, stuff like that, that you can take from being a respawn player into search and destroy, and vice versa. Of course, kind of throughout the entire World War II season, we've been seeing a good difference where I feel like the entire, kind of player base is getting better as a whole, right? You see the search and destroy players kind of helping out when it comes on different matches, or kind of being great additions, or fourths rather, to different teams. I know Supreme Agility has been kind of a major guy for GGEA Blue. He's kind of the only S&D guy out for that team. Havoc Esports, they pick up Baldy. He's known of a search and destroy player as well, playing very good for his team, et cetera, et cetera. We've been seeing a lot of really talented kind of fourths get added who are known as S&D guys. I know we kind of talked about at the beginning of the year, Blastful, Pharaoh, kind of the main players to obviously get brought into this year, especially kind of get a huge opportunity off the start for playing for Ground Zero. Of course, they kind of go their separate ways. Pharaoh on Doom Clan, Blastful on Enigma 6, but still, I think it's been a very interesting kind of start to World War II. One that I'm very happy about is that every single team, I feel like, is kind of getting that complete, I think, ability to really learn the game. They get the factor of having that S&D mind, and the S&D guys are kind of getting the respawn mind. So like I said, I feel like every team is kind of getting that overall completeness that everyone really needs, and honestly really kind of helps and kind of grows the kind of overall scale of Call of Duty teams and whatnot. But looking on here, we talk about the map number 1, of course, goes to overtime. Lethal Gaming when back-to-back rounds secure streaks and kind of hold on to them when they absolutely need to use them the most, and close that one in overtime. But now we're looking at some USS Texas. I know we had a little bit of a draw. We're loading back into things. For IceSZN, I'm not really sure who's going to be the sniper on this team. I know, like, in Advanced Warfare, which is kind of odd to say, I remember Riviction used to rock a sniper rifle, so I think it's possible that we could see him use one coming into this game. I was actually check over at his POV. Yes, so actually Riviction is going to be rocking the sniper rifle for this team. Normally, I want to say for the guys on Lethal, it is going to be MuTeX. And I know at times maybe Ramby might use it, but MuTeX, of course, was rocking it in the first map, as MuTeX just spotted the header of Riviction. Who was going to get the advantage, and just like that, first blood found. Lethal Gaming, advantage off the break. Finding the second kill is Teddy. Fearless is at least able to drop one for his troubles. When it comes into USS Texas, snipers from afar, subs up close, and smokes for those offensive rounds are key. Just a few things to be looking at when it comes into USS Texas. Some weapons, some abilities, things that we could be seeing when it comes down to this match. And Fearless does have an ideal as to where Ramby could be, but you got to be aware, man, this guy, he's got a bar, but it doesn't matter. Fearless taking out both players, and you see the quick reaction from MuTeX saying, really, you didn't find that kill, Ramby? Seriously? Seriously? I don't know why I said it like that. Apologies. MuTeX, though, 1 versus 1. As Fearless could quite literally clutch out a 1 versus 3, but he doesn't spot him. He doesn't spot MuTeX in the top right of his screen. And most likely, if the guys on Fearless, or the guys, the teammates of Fearless, are kind of watching his POV in this 1v1, they're probably thinking, like, hey, man, like, you not look at the top right of your screen? You don't see him? Really? So a near 1v3 coming in from Fearless off the start. But it is MuTeX who obviously finishes off with the final kill, along with the first blood, too. And this is going to be a fight that we see quite a bit throughout this match. Both players, I like this a lot. None of them, or neither of them, rather, backing down. They want to go for the fight. They want to try to find that first blood that's so crucial. TeddyRex does it with the PPSH. And also takes shots. Nice aggressive rush, and also gets the nice headshot on the Fearless. Riviction spawning the head of Ramby, but at the same time, Ramby realizes that position as well. And solid play coming in from TeddyRex in that midship area. And kind of showing the guys on IceSZN that there isn't really one man to pinpoint. It's a team effort they're going to have to be aware of. And sniper rifle, that's always going to be there from MuTeX. The SMG presence from Teddy. It's going to be difficult. And granted, you know, Teddy gets a, I don't want to say a lucky headshot, but definitely gets kind of great COD timing as far as that gun engagement goes. But I'm looking at the guys here from IceSZN. They have the objective, right? But they don't really have anything to secure a bomb plant. Like, Riviction kind of runs in there blind. He ends up dropping. So you see MuTeX, who still has a sniper rifle up, probably realizes that there's not going to be anyone challenging him from a long distance. Like, he's not really have to worry about it. So you see him kind of fully challenging. He has no reason to kind of back around a corner. Why? Because he knows that the fact that Riviction rushes, I don't think he probably rushed with a sniper rifle. So he has a lot of free reign when it comes down to the B-bomb side. He has no problem kind of challenging things. And receiving some shots, of course, coming in from Fearless from the top side. MuTeX tossing out a nade. Could get the jump shot. Has to be aware that his teammate around the corner could get picked off, but Ramby gets good timing, takes out Fearless, and just like that, WeeLaY 1v2, spotting out Ramby. And if you're Ramby in this position, you toss a nade, you call on your pal MuTeX to try to take him out, and that's exactly what will happen. It's nice line set there coming in from MuTeX. Should have been a headshot, I think it's fair to say, at least maybe his jaw, I'm not even sure. Not an expert on human anatomy. But 3 rounds in a row found for Lethal Gaming. And out of those 3 rounds, every time they found first blood. Speaking of that, though, Fearless trying to change things. He's the guy who, so far in this series for IceSZN, has been the difference maker. He's been trying to do everything he can. I think found like 8 or 9 kills within like 3 rounds on Arn Forest. Doing everything possible. Spots out MuTeX, and just like that, the tide turns. A quick round gain, and this is why I always talk about when it comes into 3v3 search and destroys, and what I've really learned from casting these 2 other tournaments is that these rounds go quick. And honestly, for the players as well, it's kind of hard to gain that information. It's kind of hard to realize what just took place and try to learn from it. Because these rounds just go so quick, it's just a matter of, you know, did you check a certain point of view? COD timing obviously plays a factor. It's a matter of just getting really good timing on challenging a certain thing, etc. So it's very crucial. But I'm really keeping track, at least for the guys on IceSZN. They've been forcing a lot when it comes to their offense. Oh, the sticky actually comes in. That's going to take out Ramby. As Riviction says catch. Right before he says that, he also dies as well. Fearless trying to find another kill with that nade. Baits out Teddy. And Fearless somehow gets the shot onto TeddyRex. I would imagine that WeeLaY was there for the assistance, but still a solid shot regardless. And now MuTeX spotting out the head of Fearless onto that bomb. This is going to be a solid nade coming in from him. Will it connect is the question? No, just a little bit long. Has time to work with, and does not get the shot off there on the top of those stairs. So back-to-back rounds gain for the guys on IceSZN. But I was kind of discussing, you know, granted they do get the bomb, you know, planted. They kind of work from things for IceSZN, but generally they've been relying a lot on offense, on underground. And generally, while that is an important position to hold, it's like they're not content with being on offense. Like, it's almost like they are kind of playing like a quick TDM. And obviously the objective is very important, but they're not really doing anything to try to progress that objective. Like, they're not tossing out a smoke. They're not tossing out a stun to try to bait out the enemy. It's like they want these rounds to go quick. And obviously, it worked out well in map 1. They lost around 11. They were up. So you can't hate on the strategy by any means. But it is a little bit interesting to see that they aren't trying to play necessarily for the sake of trying to catch the Lethal Gaming guys off guard. They're just trying to straight up face off against him. Maybe that could be catching the guys from Lethal off by chance. But 2 players following, MuTeX. Another situation, back-to-back rounds, and you need to clutch a 1 versus 3. Is Fearless on a 6 spree. Has earned streaks this time around, and WeeLaY free kill onto the bomb planter. As back-to-back rounds. Earned from IceSZN. I was talking about it. In that 4th round, I was like, IceSZN, they need to get some momentum. They need to kind of change the tide of this match. And they've done exactly that. They've even evened. They have evened things up. And it's all really been off the back of Fearless yet again, man. This guy, he's just going off. He's got a glide bomb. The fighter pilot, he's not far off of that artillery barrage either. And they've really got to be careful with that artillery barrage. I mean, if you're Lethal Gaming, you've got to be keeping in mind Fearless. As long as we take out Fearless, we should be good to secure the round. Why? Because his teammates aren't playing too strong. And just like that, Ramby takes out Fearless. And what I would imagine that comes in from Lethal is that they're going to, I was going to say, they're probably going to play fairly passive. Like, they don't have to challenge anything really too awkward. You kind of, Ramby goes for an interesting gun engagement there. He's able to find it, though. So with 1 player alive, WeeLaY, can he pick off Teddy? Yes, able to do that. And also WeeLaY on a 3 spree as well. I believe might have spotted someone or just randomly went for a jump. I'd imagine he did spot someone out. And now he sees MuTeX, and MuTeX doesn't go for the shot. Why? Because he has an STG. That's why, Landon. And why is WeeLaY challenging this? I mean, I know the bomb is obviously down, but it's just kind of an awkward gunfight to try and grab. I guess because the objective's in an awkward situation, but long-distance gunfight, he wins it. Ramby tosses out the nade, and if you're in Ramby's position, you have knowledge of where the bomb probably is. Coming from the corner is WeeLaY. Can he find the fight is the question, and able to do so. A very interesting situation down to the 1 versus 1. Some shaky shots coming in from Ramby. About a bullet difference, maybe a bullet and a half difference from that round going the opposite way. But after a 3-round swing for IceSZN, it is Lethal Gaming who finally get that 4th one chalked up on the board. But keeping in mind, Fearless still has streaks coming into this next defensive round here for the guys on IceSZN. If you're going to see them play passive, it's probably because they do have streaks that could be kind of rocking off of these. So we'll kind of see the progression as far as what's kind of taking place right now. Riviction actually rocking the sniper rifle. He's making things awkward. Can he take out Teddy? But no. Teddy able to escape. And right now, if you're Fearless, you don't need to use streaks. You also shut down Teddy Rex, so you're feeling even better. But Ramby does he get taken out from Riviction there? I literally looked away for like maybe a half a second. You know, where did Riviction find this? I guess I just didn't see Riviction. I was like, wait, did he like jump something like off a box? Like, what would even happen there? So major props to Riviction. Their sniper rifle in this match. As him and MuTeX have been dueling, but it looks like MuTeX coming into this round, along with his 3 teammates, rocking up PPS Sages. But no, MuTeX actually does go for the quick swap. Looking toward that B-bomb site. Can he spot anyone? Can he spot Riviction? Streaks coming in from Fearless, the glide bomb. Ramby, the only player not rocking Mountain. Well, his position is known. That's the only thing. And I think generally, as Fearless drops, kind of looking at things now, it's an awkward time to use streaks just because you don't really have anything in your favor. It's not like you got the objective down. Like, all you really did was... there's nothing that really gets accomplished with using that streak. And that's the thing where I know a lot of people were kind of questioning streak usage at CW NOLA was the fact of, streaks are obviously great, but what are you kind of getting from that streak? Like, what are you really... Like, what's really coming from that streak? Like, is it helping you do the objective? Is it helping you kind of secure spawns for a hard point? Like, are you just getting kills? Or, I mean, what does it really kind of relate to? So, I think in that last round, I would have preferred Fearless and Co. to really kind of focus on the objective, try to get the bomb planted, and then maybe use the streaks. But because all they really did was make sure the guys from Lethal Gaming were inside ship, and then from there, they end up getting picked off. So, I don't know, I feel like they kind of forced them into an area that they already didn't really have control of in the first place. So, I don't know. It's a lot easier to see from my point of view, obviously. Notice, TeddyRex does have a smoke grenade in his back pocket. Maybe he was thinking about an A rush. Regardless, though, goes on the quick flank, as he's found 4 first blood so far in this match. Potential second in his mitts. Can he shut down WeeLaY? Able to find it, and just like that, Fearless left all by himself, a 1 versus 2, as he's not able to make much more happen than that. As Fearless going down with his ship, as he will fall here to close out this series. Honestly, Fearless, he was playing very, very well throughout both of these maps. I mean, he was the guy who secured streaks in back-to-back maps. He was the guy who had 8 or 9 kills toward the beginning and the middle part of the of both of these series as well. Both these maps, in this series. Finishes off 10 and 6, the most kills in this lobby. I mean, props to the guy Fearless. He really did all that he could for this team, but generally it was just Lethal Gaming who had better execution when it comes down to most things. When it comes down to their peaks with the sniper rifle. We talk about random, kind of flanks that were made from TeddyRex and co. But generally, I think this match really kind of came down to streak usage for both these squads. I know we kind of taking out 2 different situations, right? We discussed the situation from IceSZN in map number 3. Fearless has streaks. He calls in what I think it was the glide bomb. Doesn't really gain a whole lot from it. But what I really like that we kind of talk about for Lethal Gaming side when it comes into streaks, the way that they won Arden Forest, kind of coming into that round 11, was off of Ramby. Ramby earned streaks, and I think, like round 7, round 8, holds on to those streaks, coming in even to round 11. I mean, his team was down. It wasn't as if they were at 5, they were leading 5-4, 5-3, whatever it may be. No, like they were on the back foot. They were trying to bring the game back, and it's a very risky and it's a very kind of ballsy thing to do, quite frankly, to kind of hold on to those streaks when you already realize that you're down in a map, and they're able to do so. They kind of bring them out in a surprising factor, and they make both those streaks work very well for them, and have great patience when it comes down to the streak usage. However, though, when it comes to IceSZN in this situation in particular, like I said, it was just kind of spotty play. Like Fearless was playing well, and he was having some good moments, but he calls in the glide bomb, and nothing really gets accomplished. And I think a lot of this match was, to me, kind of based off the fact of, okay, well, Fearless has streaks. What are they going to do off those streaks? Like, are they going to secure a round off of it? Like, what's really going to happen? Like I said, he calls in the glide bomb. I think one of his teammates drops while that's happening, or something really like kind of take place. But he calls in the glide bomb, and they don't have a position to really like counter where the lethal guys are going, because it's like he's kind of corralling them into bottom ship, but there's no one there to greet him with shots. There's no one pre-firing the entrance to that building. There's no one like there for a pickup after that. So to me, I was really kind of, once I saw that Fearless had streaks yet again back-to-back maps, I was like, okay, like this is probably where we see the guys on IceSZN progress. They're going to make something happen. Maybe Riviction is going to pull out someone with a sniper rifle. Like I don't really know. I just felt like something was getting ready to happen, and then it just kind of like ended really quickly. Like Lethal Game was like, okay, we're just going to close things out. Like this is all that's going to happen. So they start off 3-0. They have a strong advantage off the break. IceSZN starts to make a little bit of a comeback, but generally, like I said, it is the guys in Lethal Gaming who outlast, I think it's fair to say, IceSZN and whatnot. But like I said, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and show a little bit of a graphic that we actually have for tonight's tournament, the bracket for the 3v3 Search and Destroy tournament for this evening. As Lethal Gaming have booked their ticket into the finals. Question being, who will they face off against? Will it be the guys on Wester or PTPT?
When I'm with you, so hold my hand, I'll take it through. I'm higher when I'm with you. You know I'm higher when I'm with you. I said I'm higher when I'm with you. You know I'm higher when I'm with you.